Now this story is just for you. I never told anyone this before, but back in 1967, now I was born in 1957, so how old was I in 1967?
One.
10. How old is 10?
10.
10. Okay. When I was just 10 years old, my family took a wilderness trip camping to Northern California. After setting up camp, I decided to go exploring. After a long hike, I came upon a cave. It was a cave on the side of a mountain. So I went up over the opening of the cave, and I heard voices down inside the cave.
Was it your echo?
No, it wasn't my echo. They were talking about the bank they had just robbed and how they were going to rob the train in just a couple hours. Well, just then my foot slipped on some loose stones and a rock rolled down in front of the cave.
Was it big?
Lefty, the name of the leader of the gang, came out with Stinky Pete, one of his men, and they caught me. They pulled me into the cave, and Rotten Frogs Frankie tied me up. Then they all got on their horses and they left to rob the train. Well, they thought they tied me pretty good, but while they were gone, I managed to wiggle till I got my hand into my pocket and I pulled out man's best friend. What's a man's best friend?
A dog.
No, not this time. I pulled out my
Knife.
trim nail clippers. I proceeded to clip away at the ropes till I was free. Then I took off my shoes and made a mannequin, or my shoes and clothes, and I made a mannequin that looked just like me. Soon after that, I heard horse hooves coming. They were already done robbing the train. So I quickly ran out, wearing only my whitey tighties, on account of they didn't invent color then yet. So I climbed the hill above the cave and hid and waited till they were in the cave. I heard Stinky Pete say to Rotten Frogs Frankie, "Hey, that's not a real boy. That's just his clothing made up to look surprisingly like him." Then Lefty said angrily, "Go find him right now." That was my signal. I started kicking the rocks off the top of the mountain until it covered the cave entrance. Then I started a fire to send smoke signals. There was so much smoke from all the forest fires, they couldn't see it. So I got on Lefty's horse named Lightning and rode off to get the sheriff. Of course, they came and arrested them and took them back and took them to jail. Then they took me back to our campsite where nobody was worried about me, because back in them days, kids would go play for days and nobody would worry about them.
Why?
Because they didn't worry about us.
Was this a real story? Yes.
They took me back to the campsite where it was bedtime. So the sheriff said, "Come to town tomorrow for a huge thank you party." Then my dad said, "Okay, to bed." That's translated to bed. We went to town the next day and they had a huge celebration in my honor. Best part, the governor said, "For your quick thinking and bravery, I pronounce you honorary sheriff of California." That's how I got the badge. As the crowd cheered, they carried me into town on their shoulders. Right down to the best ice cream shop, where I got all the ice cream and cake I could eat all day long. So now, Micah, I'm passing this special badge on to you. Come here.
Aww. Oh, where's Shelly?
I'm passing this on to you. In hopes that someday you will have a grandson to share it with. Someday you'll have a grandson.
Or a son.
Or a son, maybe. And a story of your own. I hope you like listening to this story as much as I like making it up.
Wait, no, you made up story?
He made it up.
What?
But he made it up for you because you're his grandson.
Then where did you get this?
Where did I get that?
Yeah.
California.
Costume store?
Actually, I got this at
Leave it on,
Knott's
Mike.
Berry Farm down in Southern California. When I
That's
was,
the same thing. No, it's southern.
I was a little older than you.
Wow, Micah. Don't take it off. Leave it on. Leave it on.
Look at the look on his face.
Did you see the awe on his face?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it was something.
Why is it only for boys? You
Yeah.
got that on the internet. Why is it only for
I
boys?
made it up.
He wrote
Micah,
the
he made it
story,
up.
Micah.
Wrote
He
that
made it up
story.
for you.
He
I
wrote
wrote
it
that
just
story
for you.
just for you.
Okay, then
What do you,
first,
Micah?
then publish it.
And you, I'm glad you could listen to it too.
How about you publish it?
Micah.
Look at that look on
And say it's a
his
fictional book.
on the
I was
face.
busy.
Yesterday I
I'll let you keep
It's a
this.
light too.
If you ever want to read it again, you can read it anytime.
Yeah,
Hold on to it.
Yesterday I told
Micah,
a
come
story,
here.
but it was a
Micah.
real
What do you say, Micah?
Oh no, you're not gonna open your toothbrush,
Yep.
please.
Micah.
you should have said Southern
Okay, leave
California
it. Everything's
instead.
packed away now.
Well, Northern California
Now that thing that you
That's
dropped,
more
put it back in.
caves.
Amelia,
Micah, give
Makes
them
more
to
sense.
mommy.
Come here, Micah.
toothbrush is not to play with.
Thank you.
No, nice, thank you.
I would read it for this school.
Amelia, if you understand.